Hey, it's Moto22, and this is the strategy I used in my Nuremberg for this rank season. A lot of people say the Nuremberg sucks and that it gets Citadel super easy, which it does, and that's probably one of the worst cruisers that you can play for ranked. Although I disagree. When I first started playing the Nuremberg in ranked, I was doing it mostly just to prove a point that you can take any ship and play it and rank up pretty well. I got to rank 5 in the first 3 days playing a lot of Nuremberg games. I think I played like 30 or so. Anyway, this is the strategy. You find an island that isn't too close, but to where you can still shoot all the battleships. And one unique thing that I found about the Nuremberg is if you back up the rear 2 guns around the corner of an island, you can shoot at a battleship without being spotted. Now, you cannot spot that battleship that you're shooting at, so you need to have either a teammate or your fighter plane or your hydro to spot that thing you're trying to shoot. The single most important upgrade you can get on this Nuremberg is the Propulsion Mod 2 upgrade, the 50% max speed module, because as you sit here, the moment that someone shoots at you or you get spotted and they're aiming at you, that's when you want to go forward and get out of there. Now you gotta be careful, because if you go in reverse, you'll get to max speed really fast and it's going to take you a while to get back going forward. So when you're at a full stop and you throw it in reverse, you just put it in reverse for like a split second. That way you don't back up too far. Almost every time I shoot, I right click and hold, and I look at where my shells traveled, so that way I know if I can move forward and get those rounds just a little bit closer to the island. That way I'm not exposed. So if you notice, I just shot at every single battleship that came across my little sector of fire. And it's not because I chose to or I was trying to like farm damage, it's just I had to. If you look, if I was trying to shoot the battleship furthest right, I would have to back up too far, and then that Baron would be able to see me. So my only target right now is that Baron, because he's the furthest to the left. And the nice thing about the Nuremberg is it has a super fast reload, so you can shoot into smoke, and it doesn't matter if you miss, because you're just going to reload and shoot again. So it's really important to try and get a fire when somebody gets in the smoke. If you've noticed too, a lot of times when I zoom in, or rather when I hit shift, my camera will be on my front gun, so I hit C to change to the rear guns, that way I have a good angle. Now at this time, I really don't have a whole lot of options right now. I just kind of have to wait for that smoke to go away, or just try to shoot into the smoke. I don't know where that Baron is, and I don't want to back up and then get randomly spotted and then have him sit on me from like 8 kilometers or however far away he is. So when things like this happen, you just kind of have to just be patient and just see how things develop. You know, I'm watching those torpedoes, trying to think, you know, where would this battleship go if I was trying to avoid those torpedoes. So I tried like shooting to the left, so maybe he backed up. Then like that little gap right there, so maybe he's right there. Took a shot. So eventually the Baron does get spotted, and he went behind the island, but I didn't really notice it right away. I should have noticed those secondary rounds that the Baron was shooting, but I didn't. Oh well. So I eventually noticed that the Baron is behind the island, and it's relatively safe to back up and try and shoot those other battleships behind the island. You can see that the Nuremberg can shoot over islands pretty well, even at, I think these battleships are like 12 kilometers away. So you see I raise my camera up above the island so I can see where it is, and I get a good judge of where the hull is, so that way I can hit them. Our destroyer right here is a pretty good one. He just laid, he's gonna lay some smoke for me, and I'll be able to back out and use my front gun so I can get a little bit more damage in. So since I've been playing ranked this season, I have not seen any Nurnberg try this strategy. So I think it's a pretty unique thing that you can bring to the game. There's really only one way to counter this. Well, I guess there's two ways. Way number one is the enemy splits up their battleships, and eventually you don't have enough islands because they can shoot you on both sides and you get wrecked. Which, you really can't do nothing about that. And that's the best play that the enemy can do to kill you. The other way that they can counter you is by charging around the island at really close range. And your goal at that time is to attempt to not die, but you do not run away. You have those two sets of torpedoes, so you die in place. And that sounds pretty bad, but if you, for example, if a battleship comes around the island, full health, you hit them with all 6 torpedoes, it's a ton of damage. You're probably going to keep your star at the end of the game if you do end up losing. So, it's about all you can do, really. Now, hopefully you have enough intuition to see that they are charging at your island and that there's nothing that is going to stop them from getting there. So there's no friendly battleship that's going to shoot their flank as they go to you. There's no destroyer near you that might torpedo them. If there's just you and them and they're charging around, hopefully you can see it happening before it happens and run away. Now, if you're within 12 to 13 kilometers, you're too close to run away from the battleship. You won't be able to dodge fast enough, and you're too close to where their dispersion will always hit your ship and you get citadel pretty easily. So have good intuition and hopefully that doesn't happen. So right now this Cleveland is low health. He can plainly see me. I don't really care because I'm full health. He's got like 5,000 health or whatever, so I don't care if he shoots at me.
Enemy cruiser sunk. All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
So I noticed that Baron was moving forward pretty quick. So I took some random shots at this corner until I hit him. That's the nice thing about the Nürnberg is you shoot so fast, you can afford to just shoot randomly and hopefully hit somebody. And you can get some pretty good damage in by setting just one fire. But that's my strategy. It's pretty much just island humping. It's really easy to do. It's really easy to back up too fast and expose yourself, and you'll get deleted. The most important thing you can do is just practice it a couple times, and just really pay attention to where you are and relative to that island and what's around you. So one thing too is, if I see 2 carriers in the rank queue, I'll leave queue and bring a Cleveland instead, just for the anti-aircraft. For this Nürnberg, I run the B hull with the 2 sets of torps and hydro. I don't have any anti-aircraft skills because carriers are pretty rare, and I try to bring my Cleveland when there are carriers. So otherwise, I've heard that the C hull with all the anti-aircraft skills and defensive fire is pretty effective against carriers, but that's just not how I play this ship. Alright, enjoy the rest of the replay. If you look, I've got 80,000 damage, taken almost no damage in the Nürnberg of all ships. So, it can be really effective. Try it out, tell me what you think. Enjoy.
sunk.